Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Carola. I'm CMO of StealthEX, and today we're here with Marcus from Sandbox, who will tell us a little bit about the project, a little bit about his roles, the future, the plans, and many more things. Hi, Marcus.
Hey, how are you?
Really good. Thank you. What about yourself?
I'm very good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sure. Our pleasure. And first of all, I would really love you to introduce yourself and probably talk a little bit about Sandbox so we can have a little brief introduction here.
Sure. So my name is Marcus Bläsche. I'm the marketing director at the Sandbox. I recently joined the company after spending most of my professional career in the gaming industry, in and around the gaming industry. I started actually working a bit over 10 years ago at Activision Blizzard, and I stayed there for 4 years. Then I moved to a Belarusian company called Wargaming, before I worked for 2 years at a French startup that I recently left to join the Sandbox. So actually for me, it's great to be on a project that is in the gaming industry, as well as combining the blockchain components, which is something where I'm a strong believer in, and combining both of them and creating something great.
Awesome. So you have not been working in cryptocurrency before. Have you been interested or just generally curious about it?
I was hired as an advisor to a venture capital company that is working with sport teams on digitalization and tokenization of their clients, and part of it was the crypto component. This was around 1.5 years ago when I got engaged with them, and it was my first touch point with crypto in the blockchain space. And ever since then, I followed it closely. I stayed in touch with them. I was working with them on the gaming and esports side of things. So I didn't have the direct touch point, but I was heavily involved with it. And this was for me the moment where it clicked, and I was like, hey, there is something here, and this is something I should have a closer eye on. And I know I'm quite late to the party, but I'm since then basically I'm catching up, and it's a great adventure.
It's never too late, really, I think. But do you consider yourself a believer of cryptocurrency, or where do you see kind of the future of it? Because now you're working in it, so you're very engaged with everything cryptocurrency and blockchain. So where do you see it all go?
So actually, like right now, if you look for just looking at the term NFT, which is something which is right now it's exploding. Like it's literally everywhere. I saw it in the the breakfast television this morning was talking about NFT in Germany, which is something that like only 2 months ago I wouldn't have believed that they would catch it up. So I'm 120% behind like cryptocurrencies and what the possibilities are, especially the NFT space is something that I'm really passionate about. Like I own several NFTs. It's something that I love the gaming component of it, to have utility NFTs that can be used for games and that change actually how you interact with the game that you're playing, or potentially how you interact with the game that you're playing, rather than using an item or having something that belongs to the publisher but not to you. You have the possibility to use it freely as you see, and you can sell it, you can trade it, you can give it to your friends. But it's really like right now we are changing the sense of digital ownership and what it means to the user and the player. And what we're seeing right now with the NFT projects, I think it's only the beginning, and in a couple of years it will be something that is really considered mainstream.
True that. There's a lot of talk about NFT right now, and it's such a hype that
Yeah.
this is kind of unbelievable. Yeah, true. So where does Sandbox stand in here? So what does Sandbox do, and how is it connected to NFTs, to all this development?
Yeah. So in the group sense, so a bit of story of the background of the Sandbox first is that the Sandbox IP got initially launched on a mobile, where if you look for the Sandbox, you will find two games, which is the Sandbox and the Sandbox Evolution, which are mobile based. The key differentiator of feedback that the team got over and over was that the old versions or the previous versions were 2D and single player based. So, and the team then took this feedback on board and designed something which is a 3D multiplayer experience that is really keeping the DNA of UGC alive within the game portfolio or the game itself, but also giving players the opportunity to have this crypto, like this player governed economy behind it that really opens completely new senses. So For us, the sandbox, yes, it's a game, but it's also so much more, because from a user perspective, you can log in, you can play experiences, you can play with your friends, you can meet new people. Maybe you just want to hang out and engage with with your hobby. Maybe you want to listen to a concert. Maybe you just want to do role play on a certain land. Somewhere, and just hang out with your friends or meet new ones. And that's how we see the sandbox. In a broad sense, it's a UGC game, but for us, like, the vision is really so much more, that it should, like, we see it becoming a part of how you how you discover or how you experience this digital entertainment.
So a big part of Sandbox is the crypto and blockchain component.
Yeah.
Is Sandbox more for crypto people, or is it more for gamers, or is it kind of connecting both of the worlds? Because I can imagine both of
Yeah.
these worlds connecting, but how do you engage new users, and where do you take them from this side or from that side?
Yeah, so up until now, the go-to-market for the sandbox was really inside the crypto space. And if you talk to someone that is familiar with the crypto space or is following the projects around it, he will have most certainly heard of the sandbox, because we are there for the last over 2 years, and the brand is existing in the crypto space, and we have a very successful land sales of like land, our digital parcels that are part of the land, the world that is the sandbox, that is limited to 166,000 lands. And this is something that where crypto enthusiasts and investors and really see a long-term investment, because going forward, you will be able to monetize your land and be able to stake on it, host your experiences, invite friends to it. And it's the digital real estate boom really happening for us. That's something that we are seeing. So in that sense, there is right now a interest from the crypto enthusiast or the crypto space. But going forward, and as the game moves more into a playable version, next month we're going to launch, we're going to do an internal alpha, we're going to have the first playable experiences, and then throughout the year we want to focus more on the gameplay aspects. So someone that is not primarily interested in crypto or blockchain should still have a good time within our game, within the sandbox. And for us, it's important really to build the bridge, because from my point of view, there is not many games that succeeded in building the bridge between blockchain and core gaming. And as NFT also becomes like a more and more known, even in the mainstream, there's a very good potential, and we have very good timing to market in that sense.
This is very cool, because um, this world's gigantic, the crypto world and the gaming world. Obviously, the gaming industry is huge. You've worked
Yeah.
in major companies and you know how vast it is. I'm not a gamer myself, but I kind of envy all the people who are. But this would be amazing to see the collision of it and how it can work together, because many gamers don't know about cryptocurrency, don't know that NFTs exist. Well, now everybody kind of knows that NFTs exist, but how to use them and how can you monetize it? But what are the plans on monetization? So how it will work and what will it bring to all the players who are interested in that?
Yeah, the ultimate goal for us is that it's player governed, that the players or the users themselves decide what type of content they want to see, what they want to experience in. That means if we talk about the sandbox, for us, it's not only the game, the sandbox, but there's a portfolio of tools that is under the umbrella of the sandbox. So you will be able to play experiences and do all the things that I just explained beforehand. But we also have two supporting tools that's going to fuel the ecosystem of the sandbox, which is the first one is voxedit, which is a NFT maker in which voxel artists can create their own like voxel-based objects, characters, wearables, entities, whatever they like, and they will be able to monetize them through the sandbox for our token Sand, and essentially be able to monetize like whatever they want and create a secondary income stream, create a primary income stream, and this will fuel the objects or the entities that are being used by game makers, which on their end, using our third tool, the game maker, which is the Sandbox game maker, which essentially is the no-code game development tool. Which for me, so I worked in the gaming industry, but I don't have the coding knowledge, and I still have ideas of games or something that I want to build. And with the game maker, I can just go in and drag and drop and create experiences basically on a no-code layout that is really intuitive and easy to understand.
You also
And yeah,
mentioned, oh,
go ahead.
sorry, I interrupted you.
No, go ahead. I just wanted to say that both tools, voxedit and GameMaker, are available to download for free. So anyone that's interested can go and download either of the tools and already create content that will be usable in the sandbox going forward.
Also, you can drop us the links. We'll put it in the description so
Yes,
everybody
definitely.
can see.
Yes.
And you mentioned that also there is Sand, the token, the native token of Sandbox that is already tradable and is usable, and we even have it in our service. This is why we're
Yes.
all here. And what is the role of it in all the ecosystem right now?
Yeah, so actually we're very happy that we listed as well on StealthEX and that the Sand token is available there. So thank you to you and your team as well. And right now, so going forward, or right now, Sand, you can own the token, you can hold it, you can trade it, you can like sell it, you can do all the basic things that you can do with the token. What you can also do already is in regular intervals we're doing land sales where you will be able to purchase a virtual land in the sandbox, which is most of the time available for Sand to purchase. So you can already do transaction with Sands. There is already an utility. In the coming weeks, we're going to launch the beta of our marketplace, which will be the first step of combining the Vox Edit, the NFT maker that I mentioned before, with the rest of the ecosystem. So creators, a set of creators, they will be able to monetize their creations already to the open market for Sand. So there will be another utility. And going forward, we will add more features to it. We will do improvements to the overall quality of life. But the beta is really for us like the first important step to give creators the possibility to monetize their creation, which they've created over 40, 50 hours. Like there's really great stories and like artists that change their profession to become voxel artists because they see a potential there. And this is something where Sand will play a role. And then going forward, anything that you do in the sandbox, in our metaverse, you will be able to do it with Sand if there's an option to use it.
You're talking a lot about the monetization of the artist's work and all the users participating and having the opportunity to earn on what they do. But how does the company itself, your company, earn? Is it from Sand? Is it from investments? Is it from selling something inside the ecosystem? So how does your own financial system work?
Yeah, the financial system is very straightforward. So if you go on our website, sandbox.game, you will find a link to our white paper where we explain it in more detail. But essentially, long story short is that of anything that is listed on the marketplace, we will take a transaction fee of 5%, which means that 95% of all the Sand purchases going to the original creator. So that's something that is important for us. Of the 5%, it's being used to fund the company, but also to create a pool that is being used for our creator fund as well as the game maker fund. The creator fund is something how we support new and upcoming artists in creating their voxel creations and help them financially if we see a potential. And the same for the game maker fund, which is used to create the prize pool for our game jams that we're doing on a regular basis, as well as other things in the future.
Yeah, that's very straightforward. And talking about NFTs, you said that you want to create a pool of artists that will create on your platform and kind of select them and support them at some point. How would you kind of evaluate these people and how would you find them and engage them into participating in Sandbox?
So first and foremost, anyone that has a little bit that wants to play around with the Vox Edit can do it. And already we have a creator fund that consists of, I think, 90 something voxel artists. So those are people from our community that are familiar with voxel artists, with voxel creation, with Vox Edit, and we created a pool, a fund out of them that are already part of it. Selected artists will be part of the first wave of the marketplace beta, where they will, as I mentioned, where we publish their artwork. But going forward, we want to reduce the entry barrier here and give anyone the possibility to mint and publish their voxel creations on the marketplace. So our current existing pool is only the beginning, and going forward, it might not be through the fund, it might be something very open-ended for anyone. So we won't want to be we want to be inclusive for anyone that wants to join the metaverse and create something within the sandbox. But for us, it's also important to have a pool of very strong and very talented artists that are already part of the artist fund.
That makes sense. Talking about NFTs, of course, we cannot miss the topic.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. What is your personal opinion on all this hype that is happening right now? What do you think caused it? Where will you personally, with your company, of course, go in it? What do you think the future will be for it? And like, how can you explain it? It all happened so suddenly, and now we have all this crazy, crazy market.
Yeah. So it's broadening there over the last couple of years already, and you see you see the movements in the NFT space. I think the current the global pandemic situation accelerated a lot of movement in the digital space, and I think NFT was also one that was affected by it. Mainly, a lot of the headlines that you're currently seeing is digital artists that are creating NFTs. This could be painters, digital artists, anyone that really creates something creative has all of a sudden the possibility to keep the authenticity of his creation, but put it digital on the tokenized, on the blockchain, but through minting it. And this is something, since you can't, it's not as easy in most countries of the world right now to go on offline events and visit art or go to galleries and see art. This really I believe that this really accelerated the movement that we're seeing right now, and due to the revenue that is right now, it's getting invested there. You see the graphs on on month-over-month growth on NFTs. It's skyrocketing, but the majority still is through digital art, which is really driving the majority of revenue in the NFT space. Going forward, as the gaming industry and other industries will become more aware of NFTs and the possibilities of what could it entail, we will see the split really going also into other directions. We already saw some musicians that are creating albums and songs that they are selling on an NFT basis. There's several gaming projects as well as ourselves, and really it will be, I think there will be much more, we're only scratching the surface of what NFTs could be in the future for not even for gaming, not even for art, but maybe in the future you don't buy cinema tickets, but you have an NFT that is your cinema ticket. Really it can go in this direction, and just due to the nature of it, there's it's endless possibilities.
Yeah, of course, you can't predict where it all will go, but the possibilities are endless. As you mentioned, there are many artists, musicians, and more people who were into traditional spreading the media and the news, joining the NFT pool now. So we have major names in the industry going into NFTs. And of course, this is considered mass adoption because it is mass adoption. Do you think that this influence, at least them going into NFTs, which is obviously blockchain, which is obviously crypto, will also influence the rest of the market, the financial part of it, and kind of drag it out of the shadows, even though it's not so much in the shadows right now? But do you think it will speed up this movement?
Definitely. Also, we talked a lot about NFTs, but also if you look at, I think you're seeing similar numbers. It's really just the numbers of users that are on exchanges that are specialized on alternate currency or coins. Those are numbers where you see the growth of right now. It's the bull market that is going on. Bitcoin is having a run, Ethereum has a run, and it's really also parts that are being caught up by the mass media, and they talk about something that is out there. So all of this together really creates a completely new audience of someone that might have heard about Bitcoin in the past but didn't really understand it. And those people, they start to look more into it and really seeing what could be the possibilities of me. Why would I be interested in owning a Bitcoin? Why would I be interested in owning Ethereum? And all of this, I think it's playing together right now, and it's really the digitalization of crypto and the blockchain.
Do you, as a company, try to engage the people who are not into cryptocurrency right now, who are total noobs in crypto, have heard something probably about it, but have not used it, have not got in touch with it? are you trying to engage those people to go on board and kind of explain cryptocurrency to them, explain how easy it can be if you want to, and kind of try to reach them from a different perspective, except the financial one, which is obvious, but
Yeah.
also gaming is kind of more entertaining than just counting where
Yeah.
Bitcoin grows and where it doesn't.
Yeah, so actually one of my apart from my interest in the crypto space and my gaming background, like what I really see the potential, or what I considered as one of the ways to get the mass awareness of crypto is through gaming, because gaming in the past already has shown that it's a market of early adopters, of a pool of users that are curious, that are hungry for new technology, and that really want to push the boundary of what is possible. So I see really a big potential there of like less like you considering like all the financial aspects of it aside, but just on a digital ownership point of view. I think there's a huge potential for NFTs or blockchain-based games that it really changes how you interact with the world. And rather than buying a new game every year and starting all over again, and all your like progress is lost, and you start like really from zero, you have something that you own and that is in your wallet and that is belonging to you, because it is an NFT, something that belongs to you. And of course, to answer your question, yes, definitely, we want to have a product that can be enjoyed by someone that is familiar with coins, with blockchain, with crypto, but also by someone who doesn't have any touch points with it so far. And in terms of user experience, like we're really in the early phases, and there's still a lot of entry barriers to get familiar with all the things that you can do in the crypto space. But we want to build an experience, as I mentioned before, like something that is really inclusive for anyone that really wants to hang out or meet their idols, or just do something with their friends, even if they're not caring about the crypto side, or if they're just curious and want to find out more.
Hopefully that will be like this, and more people
Yeah.
will go through from this side too and become interested. We already see this movement towards real adoption. So you already said that now we have a boom of new people going to exchanges, to services, to wallets, to everything crypto related. And with this is great for all of us as businesses, as companies, as just people curious about cryptocurrency and loving it. But also there is a downside, because the networks are congested and there are lots of people using Bitcoin, using Ethereum. So it's all crazy. The gas fees are insane. Do you think this will influence you? Because Sandbox is too built on Ethereum. So you have Ethereum tokens. And do you think this will be problematic at some point, or do you have some kind of ways around it to make it a little bit easier?
Yeah, so the items that we're using, or the objects in the sandbox, are based on different tokens, and based on those, we are evaluating several options of things that we could do to reduce the gas fees of transactional NFTs, or anything that is that justifies the price that you pay in gas fees for the value of the item. Because right now, a lot of the movement, if you pay art, or pay or buy a land in the sandbox for a certain price, there is a value behind it that might justify the gas fees that you have at this moment, because it's something that will only grow going forward. It's an investment. It's real estate. However, if you in the future, if you just want to buy a item like a cloak or a hat for your avatar in game, this is something that might not have the same value, or the same like the monetary value. It's a smaller transaction, but you don't want to like paying a gas fee that is 2 times or 3 times the price of the NFT might not justify for you to purchase this item. So we are looking actively into solutions to solve this, and I hope we can talk more about them in the future. But this is something that actively is on our radar, because we want to have a low entry barrier and don't have gas fees or any additional costs blocking you from experiencing the game.
Talking about the future in general, obviously we should talk about the plans of Sandbox. So you already told that you're working on more playable experiences, you're working on some technical sides like gas fee reduction and all these things. But what are the milestones for, I don't know, next year or so that we can all expect from Sandbox, and where is everything heading?
Yeah. I don't know where to start. So 2021 for us will be a very busy year because first of all, we're going to launch the next step for us is the marketplace introduction that I've talked about earlier, which will enable artists to monetize, trade, and sell their voxel creations inside the marketplace for real cent to a real audience, which is not possible right now. So this will come in the coming weeks. Following that, step by step, we will introduce more aspects of the metaverse and linking our portfolio with each other. So to really create a ecosystem between our projects and then gradually add more users to the actual game experience. So after we've launched the marketplace, the next step most likely will be a closed alpha where a limited amount of users can log into the game and play experiences. And this is something then that we gradually, we're going to have more experiences, we're going to have more social hubs, we're going to have more features, quality of life improvements, and more players that will be able to log into the game. Supporting with that, there's in the past already, we have a strong lineup of partners that engaged with our land sales or with our brand. We have Atari, we have Roller Coaster Tycoon, there's the Care Bears, there's the Smurfs, as well as several known crypto exchanges as well. And this is something that going forward we will continue doing as well. And we have in support of that, we have a strong lineup of partnerships that unfortunately I can't talk about right now, which I'd love to do because they are really, it's something that I'm very excited about, and to see how the community will react to that. And we have good things in plan that merges what we've done in the past, what we've seen works, as well as the gameplay component.
I see. What are the parts that you're excited the most about? Is it the partnerships, because you're talking about it with such passion that I can't miss this question.
No, for me, it's really I want to have something that when you log into the game or when you log into the metaverse, you're excited to log in and explore something, discover something new each time. It's not an experience that goes from A, B, C, D. It's not a linear experience that you play once and then you're done with it. It's really something, one day you log in and you play some mini games or you play experiences with your friends. And then the next day you find a single player experience that is explaining you something on an educational standpoint, and you can learn something. And then maybe your favorite band or your favorite DJ is having a concert in the metaverse, and you do that. But you all do this with your same, as your avatar. And that's something that creating this for me is the part that excites me, and where I want to see really want to see, I wish I could see I can see the faces of the avatars but not of the real people sitting behind the screen. But this is really the for me, it's important to create experiences that are memorable, that you remember, and that you can experience together.
Do you think it will be the same after the pandemic is over? So right now it's kind of calming down already, but when all the lockdowns are over, all the people are back, because obviously this virtual reality and everything digitalized became much more popular during the times of lockdowns, and this is kind of very obvious. But when people are back to their kind of normal, let's put it this way, lives, do you think this interest in the digital kind of universes will remain and it will grow?
For me, there's no question. You already see that the pandemic changed certain, accelerated, in my point of view, several aspects of the day-to-day life. And just look at normal 9-to-5 jobs that are that are right now, they're remote because they have to. But going forward, there's a strong discussion, several big companies that are enabling their employees already to work remotely full-time if they wish to, or from anywhere in the world. And that's something 2 years ago, it's you wouldn't have had the same discussions. And the pandemic, in my sense, accelerated a lot of things because you see it's working, and you can work from home and you can have a decentralized team. And I think that the same is gaming already, no matter if there's a pandemic or something, it's a market that continues to grow, and it's it's 2.5 billion people in the world play video games. And this will stay, and you will continue wanting to look for experiences or for something that you can do in your free time. And gaming will remain a core part of this. For me, there's no question.
Yeah, this seems logical. For me, I was thinking about it for quite a bit because the pandemic really changed our lives a lot. And generally the lifestyle, what we do, how we work, how we entertain ourselves, and everything became different. And it's been just a year. And it's just interesting to see its influence on not only gaming industry, but the crypto industry as well, and the blockchain and the interest in it, and whether it will remain the same. So this is something more particular, but coming to more general questions, where do you personally see the crypto space going further? So is it more financial aspect? Is it more legalization? Is it more NFTs and art and digital kind of entertainment? Probably. What do you think will be the real push for the crypto space to go mainstream?
I think that this is happening right now. Like you see big brands. If you're looking at like in what we talked about briefly before, like in every type of industry, you see artists or creators that are exploring the space. You see publishers, like known publishers, that are exploring the space as well. I saw that like most notably for me, it's a Street Fighter doing an NFT release of their cards. Like it's something that was 1 year ago would have been unheard of. I saw that the German national football team is doing a partnership with a trading card, NFT-based trading card game as well. And those are things like it's traditional institutions or companies that are like they're there for a long time, and they're experimenting in this space because they're looking for they're also looking to join a movement and be there before it's becoming the norm. And this will just happen, like it will happen more and more, and there will be more and more use cases, and will become just a part of your day-to-day life.
Yeah, this is the NFT aspect, that the financial side of it. So Bitcoin is still there, and its ups and downs are still there. Will it also be kind of, will the, I try to formulate this question correctly. I think that
I think I know where you're trying to go. So the answer is yes. I think like you also see traditional financial services adopting Bitcoin or adopting alternative currencies or tokens as a payment method, or as a storing method, or creating wallets out there. So and I think this will also happen more and more with banks that will be able to like store Bitcoin and Ethereum, like just any currency on there. So this would be something like any bank that is not looking into the space right now, they are basically, from their perspective, they are missing out on a massively growing market right now. So basically they're just on the losing end of the side. So sooner or later they will have to, because as the mass adoption will just continue growing, and more people will become familiar with tokens, with coins, with like Bitcoin, with Ethereum, with anything. It's for me, it's just a natural step. It's just a question of like a matter of time.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but it all sounds very optimistic. And actually, our optimism and our involvement in the space led to the fact that I ran out of questions because we've been so efficient. So probably yes. I'm going to ask one more thing, which is not a question, but it's more of a kind of general conversation topic, because I would like you to probably give an advice to people who are just starting in cryptocurrency. What should they look for? What should they fear? What should they be interested in your personal opinion as a person working in it?
Actually, I can explain it on my own, because as I mentioned, I'm not one of the old dogs in the game in this sense, and I think anyone that is looking into the space should first of all be very careful and like take his own time and learn things in its own pace. And what helped me actually is finding use cases that are similar to my my interest field and my passion, which is gaming, and looking into things how it can be adapted there. And if you're an artist, or if you are looking into creating, like if you're a football fan, or if you're following sports, there's projects out there that can be interesting for you to look at, and it makes it easier for you to understand, because you have a direct example that you're close to, and rather than someone that is working on a farm and is looking into financial supply chain solutions. That's it's something where the entry barrier is much higher for you. So my recommendation is really finding projects that are close to your personal interest field, and looking into there, read about them, and don't and make good decision that you that you agree with on a personal level as well. So because still it's an early market, there's a lot of dodgy things out there, and it's something that you have to be careful, especially with a lot of noise that is also around there. Sometimes it sounds too good to be true, and if it sounds too good to be true, sometimes it's it is true, but sometimes it is not. So it's really like using common sense, being careful, but still being hungry to learn. I think this is the important thing.
Thank you very much. This is a good advice because people don't take part in shady giveaways on Twitter, especially by Elon Musk. This is something that we all should learn. Thank you very much, Marcus. So on this positive and kind of cautious note, we're finishing up on the interview. We're joined by Marcus from Sandbox. Thank you very much for joining us today.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.